Everyone, welcome back to our session of Gen AI, where we are unlocking the potential of generative AI applications. So, this is our third week. Let's begin. So, we have already talked about how Gen AI focuses on creating new content, and it's rapidly transforming various industries, and their ability to produce text as well as coding, as well as images, music, videos, a world of open possibilities, right? So, different applications of Gen AI that we talked about in art and design, music composition, content creation, virtual worlds, fashion and product design, financial forecasting, consumer behavior analysis, demand forecasting, healthcare diagnosis and prognosis, and fraud detection. We've also gone through a couple of creative applications, right? Art and music generation, where I showed you, how DALL-E works and how you can prompt DALL-E in order to get some quirky, beautiful images and futuristic images as well. Then we also talked about we showed a demonstration of Soundful, how you can generate your own kind of music, original new music. So the models are basically learning from the data that you've trained it on, and it's creating and imagining new music, right? Wonderful applications, isn't it? Let's continue and talk about a few more applications of Gen AI. So today we'll talk about creative writing and poetry. So you can give story prompts and ideas. AI can basically generate character profiles, okay, entire plot outline. It can also spark your imagination by generating creative juices flowing, right? So it can generate a complete new script from scratch. So if you're a story writer, creative writer, you're writing a script of a movie, you can use this particular Gen AI, right? Poem generators. AI can suggest rhyme schemes, imagery, entire verses, and also help you overcome your writer's block and explore new poetic avenues. Gen AI can further go ahead and generate world building tools. So basically, it can generate realistic details about geography, culture, history. It can add depth and consistency to your writing. And yes, we looked at a couple of tools like Gemini, which was formerly called as Bard when Google released it initially. Then GPT-3, ChatGPT-3, which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, and GPT-3, GPT-4, GPT 4.0, like different generations have come up, different versions based on the premium that you pay. So we're seeing different ideas, right? And AI Dungeon, Jasper, Shortly AI, all of these can actually spark ideas, build stories, pen poems, and open doors to a whole new universe, which will allow you to do collaborative storytelling. So the more data you feed into these LLMs, Gen AI models, Gen AI tools, it will basically learn and build over that idea. So they're built to understand your natural language, your English natural language, and also they have translative capabilities that we talked about, right? I showed you an example where it can talk in Turkish, like it can translate anything in Turkish. So it can also start writing stories as well. They can also build codes. Okay, let's look at a few more real world examples. So human AI collaboration won the road 2022 by Ross Godwin and GPT-3. They showcased that AI co-writing a novel. So let's say that, a script writer, a story writer, an author is facing something which we commonly call as a roadblock, a creative's writer block. So when a writer's block happens, it's basically kind of stopping the writer from using their time productively. That's where AI can jump in. That's where Gen AI can jump in. These LLM models can help out to generate a couple of few ideas and help build the story further. So it cannot, I wouldn't say we can completely replace storytelling, but a collaborative storytelling is what can take us forward in order to bridge that gap and allow our utilization of our time more effectively. So interactive poems also, right? Poet Alison Parrish uses AI in order to craft poems that react to the readers. So, for example, this particular poet, instead of just penning down his own ideas, he's also making use of large language models and creating whole new fresh content, right? Okay, then AI infused memoir. So K. Elado McDowell, he co-wrote Pharmaco AI with ChatGPT-3, which is basically blurring the lines of authorship. So a human can only remember that much, right? Even a learned man, even a scientist who does research on a daily basis needs to write down or pen down things in order to remember things. But when it comes to Gen AI, it is bridging that gap because it's a machine. It can take in how much ever data that we feed, and from across the different data and vast data that it has been fed, it's basically going to help us out, right? AI powered stories. So AI Dungeon birthed interactive stories, which some of them were published and some of them were adapted. So AI and AI for writers. Jasper is a tool which will assist all these writers with content writing, writing poems, writing short stories, interesting, heart gripping short stories, right? So only an author or a poet or a writer as such can only be successful once their readers are gripping. The story is very gripping, the content is very gripping. Only then they will actually see success. So if there are Gen AI tools which are helping us do this, which are helping us flow our creative juices, why not? Let's make use of them, right? Okay. We can also find, applications of Gen AI across business and industries. So how do we use this to supercharge our marketing strategies? So the first one could be content machine. So generating SEO friendly blog posts and articles on any topic. So digital marketing, right? When you're creating some content, some posts, some articles, why not use the help of AI in order to make it more creative, isn't it? Social media mastermind. It can craft engineering social media posts that will match your brand voice. So once it understands what kind of vision your brand has, what kind of motto your brand follows, it can create interesting posts on those similar lines. Fine. Idea spark. So to overcome writer's block, like I mentioned, and brainstorm fresh content altogether, right? Compelling copywriter. Create product descriptions and copy that convert. So add copies that convert. So the purpose of ads and product descriptions are basically to catch the eye of a reader, to capture the audience, to amuse the audience with new content, and that is something that AI can help you achieve much easier rather than you going through brainstorming a lot of creative ideas. You can just put in certain inputs and immediately it will suggest you ideas. It's like sitting with a friend who remembers everything about you and is going to give you wonderful ideas, right? Fresh, original ideas to be point. Visualizer. It can also produce a lot of eye-catching images, infographics, and videos for our marketing. The most important thing usually when what marketers look for is something that is eye-catching, which captures their audience, amuses their audience, and that's a very important factor. All the visualizations, even from the colors that you choose to the font, to the animations that you choose to put in, all of this is somehow contributing to the whole experience of ads, right? So visualization in marketing is pretty much important, and it's pretty much the base and the pinnacle point of the marketing strategy. So that is somewhere, again, generative AI can pitch in and put a few ideas. Okay, then yes, these are the different tools which are right now ready in order to create captivating blog posts. Jasper, Copy AI, Write Sonic, AnyWord, Lambda, all of these generative AI tools are basically available in the market right now. You can go and explore them to create captivating blog posts, compelling ads, engaging emails, informative website content, all crafted to resonate with your audience. So what I talk about when I talk about engaging emails, right? You can also write emails to your recruiters, emails to your potential customers or clients whom you think you want to reach out to. It helps you basically in cold mailing. contacting people, then compelling ads, right? Every ad needs a tagline. And sometimes to sit through and think of a tagline which will resonate with all of your audience is going to be a pretty difficult task. So why not take the help of these tools to make it easier? Yes, so these are the different tools we have. ChatGPT, obviously, I've shown you the demo. So you have seen how ChatGPT works. Even Writesonic, Jasper, Codot, Copy.ai, different tools that you can use and implement in your businesses, in your across industries, whatever your role might be, whether you're a digital marketer, whether you're a content creator, whether you're into ad sales. Okay, all of these tools are actually going to help you out and enhance the whole customer experience. So let's look at a couple of more real world examples. AI hits a viral jackpot. Marketing agency Fractal used this Jasper to craft a blog post which started exceeding more than 1 million views. So it probably got viral and, juicing up their revenue, right? AI for social media. Beard brand, um, Beard brand leverages copy AI to generate engaging social media content and product descriptions because that's the most important thing, right? AI streamlines and campaigns. Marketing giant HubSpot utilizes Writesonic for crafting landing pages and email campaigns. So this is the example of a couple of companies who have using these tools in order to boost their sales, boost their marketing campaigns, and ultimately build their revenue. AI enhances search. So Google explores Lambda's potential in order to create informative and captivating search results. So whenever we're searching something, why is Google the best search engine in the world? Because whenever you search for something, immediately a relevant content comes up, relevant and the trending content comes up on the top. So the captivating search results is what has kept Google going till date. So I think they're also exploring Lambda, which is another generative AI tool, which is productive enough to, create informative and captivating search results. Okay, we can also use this in product design and prototyping. So it helps you design fast forward, right? Sketches ideas instantly. It will generate product silhouettes, colors, textures in seconds. It can also help you experiment with countless number of designs, and you can test different materials, features, layouts. You can also turn your 2D sketches into 3D models and instantly try user testing whether it's going to be a hit or not. So prototyping quickly, right? Usually what businesses do is they create that prototype, they release the prototype in public, they wait for a couple of months, gather data, and then they try to understand what can be the improvements and work further. So this makes the releasing a new product into the market much more difficult, and it will make it more time consuming. Whereas when we can quickly prototype and convert our designs into 3D sketches, convert our sketches into 3D models, you're immediately it's available for testing and you can go forward with your pilot model, right? Personalized for all. So create a custom product, variations at scale. Pushing design boundaries, you can optimize it to your functionality, your sustainability factor, your material usage, okay, different things that you can experiment with. And, there's GAN Breeder, which synthesizes images, patterns, which is ideal for generating different textures of different materials and backgrounds for product designs, because product design is pretty important. Then NVIDIA Canvas, it turns simple sketches into realistic landscapes, which will help designers create immersive product environments, right? We're all captivated with beautiful nature, pristine locations, and these locations can be achieved by NVIDIA Canvas. Autodesk Dreamcatcher, it uses generative design to explore multiple design options based on constraints, based on goals, optimizing your performance and functionality. So some real world examples. Autodesk has used Dreamcatcher to design a lightweight 3D printed race car with where the chassis is 50% lighter than the traditional designs. So what happens usually in Autodesk software is designers use this, especially especially civil industry designers, right, who are into constructing buildings or constructing automobiles. They basically, this software basically allows them to put in different materials and check the density, check the, withstand power of a particular automobile. So using this dream catcher, they have enhanced their software capabilities and they're able to design a lightweight 3D printer which is helping them, get a better, lighter chassis, right, of an engine. Airbus used generative design to optimize the design of aircraft wings, reducing the weight and improving fuel efficiency. IKEA also used generative design to create a personalized chair that can be customized in order to fit the individual body shapes. So they're trying to cater to different audience and personalize the experience of the audience so that they can in turn create chairs or furniture, different kinds of furniture, which is going to suit each and every person, right? So customizing for each and every person can get quite expensive, but using these kind of tools, we are able to achieve that and sort of deliver it to the the middle audience as well, a larger demographic basically. So IKEA has used these kind of things, implemented these. You can see, right, different chairs for people with different height, body weight, okay, customizing for their liking, okay, designs. Then, obviously, the most important application, I believe, of Gen AI is in the area of healthcare and life sciences, right? Drug discovery. So, analyzing mountains of data to identify promising targets for new drugs, craft the drugs that will target the specific molecule which is the pain point, and minimizing the side effects at the same time. Personalized medicine, designing custom treatments based on the individual's patient's biology. So what they do is they take historical data of the patient, the parents' history, what kind of genes they do that. We can do all that kind of analysis, feed that data into Gen AI. It will do that analysis at the back end even better than we can do it, and sort of suggest personalized treatment plans, which is ultimately going to enrich the experience of a patient, and he can walk out pretty happy and satisfied, right? So drug revival, discovering new users for existing drugs, expanding their reach, okay, designing efficient clinical trials in order to get life-saving drugs to patients more quickly, and assessing drug safety, effectiveness of the drug, delivery before lab tests, etc. So converting more people, right? AI is a powerful tool. It's not at all a replacement for human expertise. We still need to understand that nobody can replace a human scientist or a doctor as such. Basically, it's like leveraging the tools. So I cannot replace a chartered accountant, but I can give him a calculator and that will make his job faster. Similarly, you cannot actually replace a lab scientist or a drug scientist or a surgeon for that matter. What you can do is give them the best of tools of latest technology so that they leverage these tools to the fullest in order to deliver top notch patient care for the patients, right? Okay. So let's basically remember that ethical considerations around drug safety and accessibility are crucial. And we need to embrace the future of drug discovery, where AI partners with scientists to unlock a healthier world, molecule by molecule. Okay. The complex world of drug discovery is being reshaped by three powerful AI techniques: reinforcement learning, variational autoencoders, and generative adversarial networks. Okay, so in silico medicine have identified a novel target for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, ALS. Remember this ALS challenge that we were all, it was on a rise. It basically went viral, where all the celebrities would just pick up a bottle of freezing ice and sort of throw it on themselves. It was basically a tribute to recognize all the patients who go through this ALS. Okay, that's exactly how they feel. Their body feels like pins and needles, similar to that feeling of numbness when we put a very cold freezing ice on our body. So they sort of designed a new drug for these kind of candidates, and that was really a remarkable innovation and very good contribution to the world of healthcare. So AI for a healthier future, early warning system, basically analyzing the patient data in order to identify whether they are at a high risk of a certain disease, so that we say prevention is better than cure. So enabling them for early intervention. Then AI radiologists, you can scan these medical images in order to detect the early signs of a disease. Often, what happens, pancreatic cancer, lung cancer, all of these cancers are not diagnosed, unfortunately, until too late, right? Until their patients come to third stage or fourth stage of cancer, where nothing much can be done now to reverse the cancer or to treat the patient totally. That's when they usually, discover that this is what the patient is suffering from. So, in order to avoid that, we can use generative AI tools in order to feed in all these medical data and images, and it will probably capture the minute things that probably a human eye cannot. Right. So, treatment matchmaker, predicting how patients will respond to treatments based on their particular genetic compositions, comparing each genetic composition with the kind of treatment, and sort of estimating before only which is going to be more compatible, which is the better treatment plan for the patient. Then readmission prevention, identifying patients at high risk of returning to the hospital, allowing them for a targeted care and keeping them healthy. Predicting healthcare needs to ensure proper resource allocation and preparedness for future challenges, right? Disease outbreak tracker. So, identifying and predicting the spread of infectious diseases for early intervention and public health measures. So, in case of our pandemic COVID, if we had Gen AI by then, I think we would have immediately taken all the precautions, and the predictions would have occurred way well before, and we would have all been more aware of that. Okay, generative AI models in order for predictive healthcare. So you have generative adversarial networks. These basically will generate synthetic medical data, and they will help you train the models. Okay, because real data is very sensitive. Privacy, you cannot really expose the real data. So because of that, you can generate simulated data. Okay, you can create realistic medical images in order for diagnosis and treatment planning. Then variational autoencoders, they basically help you identify complex medical data patterns inside that, okay, in order to predict disease and do some risk assessment, personalize ultimately the treatment conditions. Okay, then transformer models, they analyze the medical text data like your patient records, previous historical data wherein you have your clinical notes, prescriptions, diagnosis, prognosis, and basically they will end up in treatment insights. So researchers at Stanford universities have developed a generative adversarial network model which can detect skin cancer with 91% accuracy, comparable to human dermatologists. Almost like a human dermatologist, it is also going to detect whether you have a skin cancer or not. And VAE, variational auto encoder model, which was developed by again Google AI, accurately predicts the progression of Alzheimer's disease based on the brain scans, aiding in early diagnosis and intervention. Because Alzheimer's is a pretty painful disease to live with, I think prediction is going to really help out, right? Prevention is always better than cure. Bias and fairness. Let's talk about this. Ethical considerations and challenges, right? Biased AI outputs can actually lead to unfair treatment in various scenarios, such as loan approvals, job hiring, or algorithmic sentencing in criminal justice. I can give you a very good example of a person, Lucia de Burgh, who went to jail for who was imprisoned for at least 8 years of her life for a crime that she did not commit, because of this biased sort of output that statistics has given. And reinforcing the stereotypes, perpetuating biases through AI can amplify existing social inequalities and reinforce harmful stereotypes. So what happens, often you can get polarized as a person, and form dangerous stereotypes in your head and preconceived notions, and probably AI has a lot to do with creating a mindset like that. So we need to keep things in check, okay, take things under control before that leads to a very harmful, hostile environment. Erosion of trusts. Erosion of trust. Lack of transparency and accountability regarding AI biases can erode public trust in this technology. Then, algorithmic transparency. Understanding how AI algorithms work, identifying potential biases within them, it is essential for developing fairer models. Human oversight and accountability. Despite advancements in AI, human oversight and accountability remain vital to ensure responsible use of this technology and address potential biases. So, again, like I said, we can never really replace things, but what we can do is probably use these tools, leverage these tools, and do a better job and get our job done way faster, right? So we'll talk about face. We can also think of facial recognition technology. Immediately, like biased facial recognition algorithms can lead to inaccurate identifications, disproportionately impacting certain demographics. If a facial recognition system fails to recognize people of color, I think that's a big no, and that's a big, huge problem that we land into, right? Automated hiring tools, so AI powered hiring tools which are trained and biased data can actually disadvantage a certain group of applications who belong from rather a different kind of ethnicity or a gender. They might face this kind of a backlash, right? So generative AI is revolutionizing creative fields, but it raises questions about ownership and authorship. So if an author is writing a story along with a LLM, a generative AI tool, so who exactly is the author now? Should he actually get the entire credit, right? Because it has little to do with his creativity, right? So AI as an author, currently laws often require human creators for copyright protection. So AI generated work might not qualify alone. So AI made trademarks, AI could design unique trademarks, but human selection is crucial for that legal protection. And generative AI is a tool for collaboration. It's not a replacement for human creators, again, emphasizing on that. So the focus is on recognizing both contributions, and whoever gets the credit for who should get the credit for generative AI elements, right? The biggest debate that we could have. Are there biases in the AI algorithms? Biases will occur based on the data that we train it with, right? So that could be one thing that we need to take responsibility for. Then ever evolving laws, AI's impact grows, legal frameworks might adapt to address challenges and opportunities. And yes, industries may develop standards to guide AI in these creative processes while respecting intellectual property and ethics. AI generated art auctions, okay, like Christie's auction and AI generated portrait, which is called as Edmund de Bellamy, okay, for around $432,500 in 2018, which was raising questions about the value and ownership of AI created art. So the artists are getting heavily affected by this, and there will be a lot of copyright disputes. If a photographer sued a stock photo agency for using AI to generate images that closely resemble his own copyrighted work, and demonstrating the complexities of protecting original works in the AI era. Because what happens is when you want to get certain build a certain generative AI tool, you're basically going to feed it with heaps and enormous amount of data. So in this data, it might get inspired and produce a kind of content which is probably similar to another creator, and that can create a lot of backlash, a lot of that can lead to a lot of disputes, legal disputes, and let's avoid all of that, right? Yes, so if you decide to design your own language, there are thousands of sort of amateur language designer pitfalls. So we need to remember, how generative AI can be leveraged, can be used in order to make our work more productive, in order to consume less time. But at the end of the day, it's never going to replace a human expertise at all. So I think that is something that we need to keep in mind. And yes, all of these legalities, legal disputes, how it will work, how the copyright and trademark frameworks work, we can always debate about these things. But let's face the fact that generative AI is now out in the open and we cannot escape it, right? So let's meet again next week, guys, and talk more about generative AI and its capabilities, and discover the entire potential of a generative AI. And I'll see you next week. So thanks for joining in with us. Thanks for joining in with us, tuning in with us for a generative AI live session here at 360DigiTMG. If you really like this content, please like, share, and subscribe. Spread it across your, friends group. Spread it across with others so that they can also learn and gain from this generative AI sessions. Right? Thank you.